The Mobile County Public Schools presents Homeroom.
Hi, and welcome to Homeroom, where we introduce you to the teachers, the educators, and the students who make Mobile County Public Schools a wonderful school system and one of the best in Alabama. I'm your host, Renee Phillips, and today we're talking about the fine arts programs that we have throughout Mobile County Public Schools, from elementary school, middle school, and high school. And joining me right now, I have Dr. Linda Bird, who's a supervisor of fine arts and world languages for the school system, and Christy LeGros, who's an art teacher at Theodore High School. So the arts, tell us, what do we offer?
We offer a range of arts from instrumental music to vocal music, the visual arts and drama, dance, and theater.
Okay. And there's so much focus just on academics and on reading and math and test scores and these sorts of things just in the education world. Why are arts important?
Well, arts support the idea of critical thinking, collaboration, all those things that support the learning process. Students, and there's a number of studies that show that participating in the arts and extracurricular activities actually boosts test scores. It boosts students' ability to practice those things that make them successful in the classroom.
I think for a lot of students, it gives them a reason to come to school, right?
Absolutely.
Something to enjoy.
It supports attendance. It supports just general morale at school. You know, even if you have a student that's not in the band or in the choir, you have students that enjoy going to those performances and being part of that environment that having a performance group creates.
And we were talking earlier that one of our goals is to provide a wide variety, right? Because
Yes.
a student may not know. They may be good at
Right.
the visual arts, they may be good at dancing or
Right.
acting. So why is it important to expose them to all that?
Well, and one of the things that, and I applaud our administrators at the elementary schools, they're trying to start after-school clubs to supplement the programs that we have already. We have itinerant art and music. We started dance teams after school. You know, at the last pep rally at the beginning of school, you saw a couple of those elementary dance programs, and they're very successful. But I think students really at that age, they don't know, and so just getting a taste of all of it kind of helps mold them as they're moving into middle school and making those choices.
And then by the time we're in high school, Christy, tell us what you teach at at Theodore, sorry.
I teach Art 1 through 6, as well as AP 3D Design, AP 2D Design, and AP Drawing.
So what does a typical class look like?
Busy, very busy. So I usually have Art 1 students as well as 2, 3, 4, and AP students at the same time. So it's a family. It's a family of students working together. And I'm like the mom. Some of them call me mom from time to time. And I'm always running around and helping this group and that group. And when I can't help one group, another older group is helping the younger group. And it's a organized chaos. Organized chaos is probably the best way to say that.
With lots of talent in the room.
Tons of talent. Our students are amazing, amazing.
And what types of visual arts are they exposed to? What are they learning?
We touch on everything. We start off with drawing, we go into painting, we go through all different array of media. I've turned my entire classroom into a dark room as well as a camera obscura, and so we touch on everything we can.
And what do the students seem to like the most?
The variety.
Yeah.
They like trying new things. They like getting their hands dirty and trying something new.
And I know you do a lot of art contests, don't you?
We do. We have, and it brings our community in. MAWS, Mobile Area Water Sewer System, does things with us. Spring Hill Medical Center is an amazing resource for art teachers K through 12, all the way through our system. The Mobile Alabama Bowl, several, as well as, of course, the museums, Mobile Museum of Art and Contemporary Art Center, and all of those.
Those give students an opportunity to have their work displayed.
Yes.
And what's that like when your student works on a project, finishes it, and then they can see it hanging somewhere?
It's amazing, the pride that they have when they show up and see their artwork framed or on a wall in a museum or gallery. They're just boosting with energy. So excited.
And I know you've probably visited other schools, talked to other art schools, just throughout the county. What do you think about what we're offering in Mobile County?
We are doing an amazing job, We have a variety of programs, and our middle school programs do feed into our high school, our elementary into our middle, and we're trying to work more cooperatively to make more of that happen.
Okay, and you said you also do ceramics?
We do. We have ceramics, we have sculpture. I have 3D students who will build anything out of anything. So we anything from wood to clay to wire, crushed paper into clay.
And I bet they enjoy that, because it's one thing to draw on a flat surface, but what's it like when you give them a 3D?
Sometimes it's difficult to go from always doing 2D to all of a sudden having to form things, and remember to look at it from all angles. But they do a good job.
And how would you rate our visual arts programs?
I would think they were superior, and I think that all of our teachers have been very creative in coming up with different ways to tend to all of the needs of our students, I'm excited about the Honor Art program that we're going to be having this year. It's we're going to be trying to showcase all of the student work K through 12 at one place. And you were talking about the excitement that students have. I'm hoping that our community can see what we see every day.
Oh, that'd be great.
The variety of work that our students
Do you have a day in place for that yet, or you'll let us know?
It's in the spring. I think Ms. LeGros, I think we're still in the planning stages, because we're working on getting a venue, but we know that it's going to happen this year. We're excited.
Well, that'd be great. Like, you have science fairs and history fairs. This will be an art fair.
Yes.
And so keep us posted on that, and we'll let our Facebook fans know when to show up for that. But we've got a break for commercial, but when we come back, we're going to talk to some dance teachers, theater, drama, all that, and we're going to learn more about the fine arts programs that we offer in Mobile County Public Schools. So stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we are learning about our fabulous fine arts programs that we have in Mobile County Public Schools, starting in elementary school, continuing through middle school and high school. And joining me, I have band directors. I have Gretchen Greenwood from Causey Middle School and Kendall Ford from BC Rain. So what's it like directing a band?
Busy, extremely busy year round.
That's an understatement, but incredibly rewarding. It is.
So starting in middle school, is this usually the first time they've picked up an instrument for a lot of your students?
It absolutely is.
And how do they decide which instrument to do?
We actually do a testing, kind of like an instrument petting zoo. We allow the students to come and try out the different mouthpieces of all the different instruments and see what kind of suits them best. Because some people make an awesome sound on the flute right away. Some people don't make any sound on the flute. So it helps them to know, okay, I'm good at this already. This is a natural ability thing. So we try it out first.
And they may think, I'm going to play the saxophone, and then you're like, yeah, no, you need a trumpet.
Exactly, exactly, yes. And normally the kids are on board with it too, because they realize, oh, I can get a sound out on this, and that makes them pretty excited.
And I'm sure on the high school level, having these middle school programs helps you out, right?
Absolutely. Now, we do get occasional students, either freshman or sophomore, that comes in, never picked up a horn, and that's, as a band director, we got to come in and make those adjustments for those students who are interested. But it's very beneficial once we receive students from the middle school in and matriculate them and getting used to on the high school setting and matriculate them into the 12th grade, and also receiving a scholarship if they decide to go off to a college or university. So it's very beneficial. Even if they can start elementary, that can even help us out along the way once we get to the high school level.
Even starting to learn to read sheet music.
Absolutely.
And all that.
The basic fundamentals of it starts with reading. For me, if they be able to read the notes and see the notes, then we can be able to put them on the horn and then matriculate to actually playing the notes and hearing the sounds.
So I'm curious, what instruments did you guys start on?
I played oboe in middle school, high school, and in college. So oboe was my primary instrument.
My primary is clarinet, but then matriculated to flute, saxophone, and then when I went to college, I was a drum major then.
Okay, and so do you all kind of have to learn all the instruments?
Yes.
Yes.
yes. And sometimes play them during the school days.
Oh,
as
I
well.
play all the
Yes.
time during school. Yeah, we pick up instruments to demonstrate constantly, and I marched trumpet in college, so that's my kind of go-to for class. With oboe, you have to deal with soaking a reed to get
Yes.
it to vibrate properly, so it's not really practical to keep an oboe out.
Yeah, you don't
So-
see a lot of oboes.
No, flute and trumpet are easy to pick up and play right away, so typically those are the ones I demonstrate on.
And when we think about band, we think about marching bands. That's a big part of
Absolutely.
your season, right? And what's marching band like?
It's very hectic. High school band directors here in Mobile County we're year round. We start in June and end in May with camps, more summer camps, auxiliary tryouts, percussion camps, a full band camp, and then get ready to start into our football season, of course, playoff season as well. And then, of course, the usual parades between Labor Day and Veterans Day, and then, of course, the winter concert, and then pick up in January with the Mardi Gras parade season. And for both middle and high school band director, February and March is our district and state assessment.
Oh.
And then after that, sometimes depending on the schools, school trips, spring trips, and then after that it's graduation. So we're year round for both middle and high school. So we have a season for almost everything, but we do not stop. Even on the weekends, sometimes we're working.
Yeah. And in Mobile, we love a Mardi Gras parade.
Oh, yes.
And I love going and I'll root for every band that's marching by. Go Viger, go Blunt, go BC Rain, go
Yes.
Causey. What's that like for your students to get to march in a Mardi Gras parade?
For them, they love it. After 2 or 3, okay, are we almost done yet? But it's very exciting. It's very warning for my students and for myself, and just get the kids out in the community. And also seeing me and people that are not from Mobile and just receiving emails or just being stopped in the street saying, you guys look good, you guys sound good, this is my first time. It's very rewarding. And also for my freshmen that this is their first time actually being inside the band and actually seeing the parade route, because sometimes in their middle school, they just only see the bands walk by, but this is their first time actually seeing the actual parade route. So it's a very rewarding educational experience for them.
Do the middle school students do parades as well?
No, we don't. At this point, we're just trying to get them to learn the basics about reading music and playing their instrument properly. You know, there's a
So
lot
marching
going on.
would be a whole nother level.
Marching is, for high school. I mean, we'll start teaching at the end of 8th grade,
Right.
like, okay, here's, attention, parade rest, things, because typically our students go to Baker High School, so I taught at Baker before, so I kind of already know this is how we're going to do things when we get to high school and try and help prep them for that.
And I know we were at the Baker game this past weekend, and I know the Causey band
Yes.
was with them. So is
Yes.
that a neat exposure that they can bring in the middle school and do
yes.
a pre-show?
Oh, they
and-
love that. Yeah, it's really neat. They allow the 7th and 8th graders to come, and they do one song by themselves on the field, and then they do one with the Baker band. And then the 8th graders get invited to go up into the stands and play with the high school students and get an idea of what it's going to be like next year. So.
And then
it's really good.
they can't wait to get to high school, I bet.
Yeah, they all were really excited, and I love that. It thrills me.
And we see you in the supporting role, but then you go compete in competitions as well. And what's that like for the kids to compete?
For on the high school level, on marching band competitions, for my school, we just wrapped up the 9th Antelope Port City Battle of the Bands at Lab People Stadium. I had Southern University, Talladega College, Alabama State, and our local high school. That was very exciting, something new. We are, for next year, for my band program, we're going to actually doing something different. Actually, this time going to competition. It's very, very rewarding, always rewarding, but it's very, at the same time, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. It's difficult, trying to make sure to train the kids to hear themselves, to actually get the visuals all the way around. But it's very rewarding, but it's a lot of time spent, trying to prepare the difference between doing the halftime show on a Friday night and actually perform for judges and from an audience for a different
technique and sound and
absolutely,
all that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for everything that you guys do. I know it is a constant work, but
Oh, yes.
rewarding work, and it's giving our children lifetime love of music.
Yes.
So we have to break for commercial, but when we come back, I'll introduce you to some of our chorus teachers and theater and drama. So stay tuned. Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres. And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we are learning about our fine arts programs that we offer throughout Mobile County Public Schools. And we've already heard from visual arts and from our band directors, and now we have our choir and music teachers. Joining us now we have Beth White, who's a choir teacher at Davidson High School, and Alicia Luttrell, who is the music teacher at Old Shell Road Magnet School for the Performing and Creative Arts. So what is it like? Tell me, in elementary school, what does music look like?
Well, in elementary school, we're teaching everything. We teach instrumental music, vocal music, and many of the elementary music teachers are often teaching dance and drama because when we perform music, if we perform a musical, they're often choreographing a movement, and as well as in ensembles that are performing together instrumental and vocal music.
So does every student at Old Shell Road take a music class?
Every student takes music at Old Shell Road, and they are exposed to instrumental music, vocal music, and we are creating music, analyzing and understanding music, and performing it.
And what do they seem to like the most?
They love the instruments, especially the young students. They always want an instrument in their hand. Percussion instruments are great for young children, and as they get older, we move to the ORF instruments, and they can perform on xylophones as well as sing.
And then I'm imagining they love performances too at that age.
They look forward to performing because they want to show what they've learned and show what they can do. And it's fun, it's entertaining for them.
And then by the time they're in high school, it's choir. What does the choir look like?
Well, I get students who have unfortunately not had the background in elementary and middle school, so I usually have a couple beginner classes that I'll start off from scratch, teach music reading, a little bit of music history, vocal production techniques, and then if they progress well and complete that program successfully, then they can audition for my advanced level program, and that's more the performing side of the program. We are involved in county-wide programs as well as what we do locally. We do theater, musical theater productions. We do some opera-type productions. We do some classical choral literature from the early Renaissance all the way to contemporary music. And then, you know, if they're really good, we do some more pop-style show choir-type music as well.
And I'd imagine, like with the show Glee, has that become popular?
It was for a while, and Glee has kind of passed and done its time. But since the pentatonics came along, the a cappella style music has really been popular, and so we do a lot of a cappella style music, and the students are really invested in learning how to do that.
So they do all the sounds with their mouths while the other people sing.
Yeah, the beatboxing and all that stuff. They love that. Yeah.
And when did you guys start with music?
Well, I started as a young child taking piano lessons, and just fell in love with that, and singing in church. So music has always been a part of my life.
Yeah, me too. I started piano lessons when I was 7 and sang in church, and then I played an instrument as well when I got to middle school, and played in the band all those years and continued to sing at church. And then I decided I want to major in music. Then I had to decide, am I going to do instrumental or choral music? And well, choral music won out just a little bit more, so I majored in that, and I've been singing and teaching either band or choir or just general music, preschool music even, since then.
And why do you think it's important for our children to sing and to play music?
Well, children, they want to participate in music because everyone can participate in music. It's for everyone. And that's where that they can really be creative. And so much of 21st century learning is project-based learning, and so in the music classroom is where it's all coming together. We are collaborating together, working on a project, learning music, analyzing music, and working together. And that's what they want to do.
Yeah,
they enjoy it.
I teach my students, I teach my students that I'm teaching them life skills as well as just vocal music production. We're learning how to cooperate. We're learning language as we study the poetry, the lyrics. We're learning rhythm. We're learning speaking techniques. We're learning, support for the voice. And so I tell them, you go out and be a lawyer or a teacher or a nurse or whatever. Everybody's going to be speaking at some point, so they need to learn how to, conduct themselves in front of people.
And project and
Yes,
all that. And I know both of your schools have fabulous performances. I know Old Show Road, you're known for like a Christmas. Don't you do a Christmas one in a spring?
We do a big Christmas program. We have great performances for Black History. But each grade level at our school is involved in a major production, and we do a full-scale musical where every student in the school will dance and perform music, and often participate in dramatic arts as well. They participate in visual arts and create the set on which they perform, and so they're involved in all of the arts when they perform.
From the building, the costuming, and all that.
Yes, and every student at the school participates in that.
And then Davidson.
Yes, and often we get Old Shell Road students who participate in our theater, musical theater productions that we do in every spring. This spring at Davidson, we're doing a little Shop of Horrors, and which will be a lot of fun. And so last year we did Shrek and had some Old Shell students. It's so much fun.
And I bet for the younger ones to see the big kids do it, I bet that's fun.
Right, it's something they can really aspire to, and that really inspires them to work hard and to figure out what they're good at, because all the students find that some really enjoy the instrumental music and some like vocal music. Others prefer the dance and drama, and they can find out what they're good at and really start in elementary school
and then build on it as they
building
grow.
on that.
Well, thank you for what you do. I think it's fantastic. We have to break for commercial, and when we come back, we'll speak to some of our drama and theater teachers. So stay tuned.
It's a fact. Bullying happens. Bullying can lead to serious physical and emotional pain. But there are some things you can do to prevent or stop it. Stand up for the person who's being bullied. Let the bully know that it's not cool to pick on others. Take action by reporting the bully to a teacher or principal. In the end, when you help someone who's being bullied, you are also helping yourself.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we're learning about our fine arts programs that we have in Mobile County Public Schools. We've learned about the visual arts, we've learned about choir, and we've learned about our band programs. And now joining us, I have Alex Silva, who is the theater teacher at Bryant High School, and Angie Dusoy, who's the dance teacher at Davidson.
Yes.
So these are fun classes to teach, right?
100%. Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
So what kind of students are you looking for in dance and theater? Are you looking for kids who have a lot of experience or for new people?
All of them. Yeah, exactly. Every single student. That's how I feel. I think there's a spot in theater for any student.
Yes. Everybody belongs. It doesn't matter what experience, what level, what ability. Everybody belongs in dance, theater, the arts in general. Yeah.
Okay. And I know in theater particularly, a lot of times across the high school board, we aren't getting kids that have any previous experience. So if you do get a student that has experience, that's great. But a lot of the times, the more green the student is, the more fun it can be for them to learn.
The more moldable.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And so what types of dance do you teach?
So I teach the genres of modern, contemporary, ballet, and jazz. We go over the histories of those genres, how did they form, why did they form, and then we also focus on the elements of choreography, like what does it take to be a choreographer, and that also involves a lot of group work and collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, and we also do dance theory, which is, analyzing professional work too. So a little bit of everything in dance. Yeah.
And what part of dance do they like the most? Is there a certain style?
It's funny because they all come in thinking that they're going to like a certain thing, and they all end up leaving surprised and it just varies. They're all over the place. But I always tell them just try to find a love for all of it, so that way you focus all of your energy on all of it instead of just one thing, so that you're a three-dimensional artist. Yeah.
And that seems to be our philosophy throughout the fine arts. You may be good at drawing or pottery or band or choir or dance. And what about theater? Like, what kind of students do you find?
Well, I find all of them, honestly. So from students that don't want anything to do with performance, they just strictly want to be backstage. And that is so beautiful, because there's so many jobs for students that are not on stage. They are what's happening behind the scenes. And those kind of kids are really fun to teach, because they want to learn so much of everything. And then, of course, you have the actors and the performers, and they're just always having a good time performing. So that's really kind of enjoyable, what makes my job really cool. But then what's actually kind of the coolest, and Ms. DeSoy might agree with me, is that you get those kids that are so anxiety-ridden or are so fearful of performance in general, and then somehow they get on stage and they do it. And I've had many kids that'll cry after their first performance or their first experience of applause, and it makes it really worth it. You know, it really makes it worth it 100%.
Because you think of performers, you think they would be all extroverts, and that's not true, is it? Like, some are shy in other parts of the world, but you put them on a stage and...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes that's where they can really be themselves. You know, they can really find that character or that movement and really go 100%.
And the same with dance, right?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of times I see students walk in, especially in the beginning level class, that walk in terrified. And the first thing that they say is, I can't dance. I can't dance. Well, sweetie, did you walk here? You can move. Yes, yes you can. You know, I mean, if you have movement in your body in any capacity, you can dance. So, and by the end of the semester, they're proud and surprised with themselves, and their confidence has just gone up. You know, they're like, we don't want to quit dancing now that the semester's over, you know, so.
So I've asked all your colleagues this. How did you get started in the arts? What age were you?
I was little, 2 maybe, yeah, not even a memory of my first time performing. But yes, I've been dancing my whole life in all kinds of different genres and venues, and danced in college, and just knew from, one thing I did know from the time that I was 5 maybe, that I wanted to teach dance. That's what I've always wanted to do, so never swayed from that.
For me, I was actually a 9th grader, and I had been singing for a long time in my room, and my mom has a background in theater, but she never really tried to push me in any direction. And then in 9th grade, I auditioned for a play or a musical, and I was cast, and ever since then, I've never looked back, and I have a BFA in acting from Southern Miss, and here I am now, and it's pretty incredible to be able to do what you love to do every day.
And how incredible is it to see your students do this?
My favorite part. That's my absolutely favorite part, especially because in the arts, a lot of times we get them for all 4 years, a lot of times from 9th grade, and the change that happens in them from 9th grade to 12th grade is amazing. And then, you know, we maintain contact with them even in their lives. And, you know, I have some that are now alumni that are now teaching in Mobile County too. So, yeah.
And so we'd encourage anyone to try it out, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
It would actually be really cool if in the spring, all schools do our musicals. Not all schools, but many schools do spring musicals or performances. And I think it would be really cool if maybe we could do a homeroom session on something like that and showcase the spring performances at the high schools and maybe the musicals. That would be really
all
awesome.
the arts are collaborating.
So the community could see it. You know, usually we just can hone in on our areas, but it would be cool to see what we're doing throughout.
And that's a great idea. So we do our Sounds of the Season here on MCPSS TV, and we also do a show called Center Stage, and we would like to expand that and show more of our arts programs. So we'd be interested in knowing when your performances are, so we can show that here on MCPSS TV. Because here at Homeroom, we like to show all of the great things happening in Mobile County Public Schools. And this has been a great show talking about the fine arts programs that we have. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Homeroom.